So there's 4 reasons why now you can go out and we can do virtual speed training and it'd be even more powerful than being in person. All right. So here's why that is. So there's 4 reasons. All right. Number 1 is consistency and access anywhere. So let's say, for example, you are on vacation, but you still want to get your youth athletes some speed training, right? You're on vacation. You still want to get your youth athletes some speed training. And it's their day. They've got whatever coming up when they get back home. All right. You're on vacation. Hey, look, as long as you got a field, and this is what I do, as long as you got a field, you don't even have to have a field. You just need to have an open space, 10, 15, 20 yards, maybe 30, 40, 50 yards, something like that, depending on what we're doing. As long as you got a space, 50 yards, then you can literally work out. I can tell you exactly what to do, and I can access your data from anywhere using this system. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to get one of the FirePod people up on this podcast, and we're going to talk about this, and it's going to be even further just explain to you how this stuff it works. Okay, so now most in-person sessions, guys, they depend on schedules, they depend on weather, they depend on travel, all that stuff. And what happens is that you start working with a trainer in person. And I was just literally just talking to a lady yesterday on the phone because she was looking at the virtual program and she was saying, sounds cool, I want to try this out. And I asked her, what are the problems that you're having right now? And what she said to me was her daughter, she actually gets training from a guy right now, but it's usually with 4 or 5 or 6 other kids. And she says he's doing some of the drills and she's getting some work in that's pretty good, but she feels like it's a glorified practice, right? It's like literally like a glorified practice, and she's not getting the one-to-one help that she actually needs. And so that's typically what trainers are doing now because of the business models that are out right now. I'm a coach, but I'm also a business owner. And so a lot of the business models out right now are telling us, hey, do group coaching, because when you do group coaching, you can coach more kids, you make more money, and of course you need to make money to live and be able to pay your bills and all that stuff. So that's how they sell it to them. But what happens when they do that, guys, is you get this glorified practice. And when you get this glorified practice, the thing about it, it's still practice. And what I tell parents all the time is practice is not training. And most parents, they think practice is training. They think they take their kid to practice, they're getting training. Coaches feel the same way. Hey, come to practice, we're going to sharpen your skills. That's not what's happening. I promise you, a lot of kids they want to play AAU basketball. And they go out there and it's really just a glorified practice. They're thinking, oh, my kid is going to get better because they're continuing to play basketball throughout the season, right? But what's really happening is you're paying for your kid to practice and playing some extra games. That's all you're doing. Training is when you're looking at what the kid is weak in, and we're starting to work on the weaknesses that they're having so that they get stronger in areas where they are presently weak or they presently struggle with, right? So we can't look at these practices, right? We can't look at these training sessions with these trainers when they got 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 other kids out there. How can they get to the development that they need to get if they're doing the same thing Johnny's doing? Now, Johnny might be a more elite athlete or a less elite athlete, and now I'm doing the same thing as Johnny's doing. Or even if they do break them up, which I don't see a lot of coaches doing, breaking them up into groups and say, this group over here. Yes, iron does sharpen iron. I get that. Iron does sharpen iron, but here's the thing. When a kid has a specific weakness, they literally need that attention. And so what you get with one-to-one virtual is you get that one-to-one on person, because it's not impossible to do a group in a virtual setting, but typically to get the best results so you can see everybody is to do it one-to-one. So you literally get that one-to-one interaction when you go virtual versus being in person. So that's one of the biggest things. So that's number 1, consistency, and you get access anywhere. We're consistent, all right? With virtual and AI training plans, you're all like Coach Harper is always accessible. So I've got Coach Harper AI, as you guys know, which is a AI bot that is trained to answer questions just like I would answer questions. So I have that available. That's coming out on September 1st. So please join the wait list for that, guys. I'll put the wait list down in the description for you guys to jump on that. All right. I said there was 4 reasons why virtual training is more powerful than in-person training. So we're going to number 2, personalized and data-driven coaching. Okay, kind of about that a little bit here, or a lot of it, I should say. You get personalized and data-driven coaching. All right. So with this FirePod, and I'm working with a kid right now who's using this FirePod. It's a vest with the pod in it, and it records every workout session. All right. So if we're doing speed that day, I get to see how fast the kid is running. And literally, been working with this thing for about 5 days. I say 5 days because it's been 5 days since we've actually, because we're literally in the beginning stages. The kid ran his speed test. So I always start with an evaluation and then a speed test. So I did the evaluation, we did the speed test, and literally we worked out once after that speed test. And then that was between 5 days because we had worked out one day with like Thursday, and then we had to wait the whole weekend to get back to it. So 5 days. And this kid literally in his first 10 yards went faster in his first 10 yards than he did when he was actually doing his speed test. His fastest run in his speed test was his first 10 meters or first 10 yards in that speed test that he did was slower than the ones that he did in our actual session, where he actually did the workouts, and then did at the end we do strides. We do what I call them strides, but we call them so they're actually doing 10 actual strides, and we do them at 50%, and then we do them at 75%, and then we do them at 90%. So his 90%. His first 10 yards in his form runs, strides, was at 90% was faster than his one when he actually did his training. All right. And it's because we had been working on the way that he runs. And the real reason why we're able to see that is because, 1, I was able to just look at him and see it. And then 2, the data matched. We're able to see him line going up and down. And I said, okay, literally it's because you're not consistent with your stride. You're not consistent with your form. So you're slowing down. And the other thing is you're looking down. And so every time you do that, that's going to slow you down. All right. And then, of course, your foot placement and things like that. So those are things I was able to see. The data really showed me, confirmed what I already knew. All right. And so because we have this thing, we have this data that I can access, and you can be anywhere in the world, and I can access this data from this vest that the kid is wearing, and I can tweak your plan. I can literally tweak their plan real time, and we can start working on the things that we know we need to work on. So we're able to do that. We're able to catch the things that we need to catch to help boost their potential right there in real time. So that's something that you could get in a personalized training session, with an in-person training session, if, again, you're not in a session where you have all of these kids at one time. Because, again, like I said, most parents think that, hey, if I'm taking my kid to a trainer, even if there's 6 or 7 kids out there at the same time, then I'm still getting some help. All right. Now, they are getting a little bit of help because they are working. As in any time that you're doing work, you're going to start seeing some improvement unless you're practicing the incorrect things. And that's where the problem comes in. We don't know if they're practicing incorrect things, because if the coach's attention is over here and they're not on your kid, finishes the drill, they said, and what all we can do is say, hey, did you do the drill? Yeah, I did it. Okay. All right, let's get to the next thing. Well, we didn't even see them if they did it right or wrong. All right. When we're in a one-to-one virtual setting, we have no option but to look and pay attention to every single thing that the person is doing, so we can tweak every single thing. And then with the data, I can see in real time that can help me even tweak what's going on even quicker. All right. Those are the first 2 things. 4 reasons why virtual is better than in-person. 1, consistency and access anywhere. Number 2, personalized data and personalized and data-driven coaching. I'm sorry. All right. And then number 3, feedback and progress is immediate. All right. Now, if you're in a setting where you got a coach with 5 or 6 other kids at one time, a group setting, even if they do get the information from the vest, okay, what's going to happen is they're going to have to go back to their desk and then look at the data. They can pull it up on their phone or things like that too, to go over 5 or 6 or 7 kids' data and really dissect it. You know, it becomes one of those things. Literally yesterday, I was sitting, like, let me tell you guys, literally yesterday, I was sitting at my desk. I was working with my athlete and I was reading his data at the same time, right? And after our session, I was able to pinpoint why he was running faster this time as opposed to his running last time, because I could see the data points. And I can say, I just could see the data points and I could understand where he was by what I was seeing. And I said, yo, that directly correlates with the data. And so I know with 100% certainty that this is where we need to do to fix X, Y, or Z. And that's why when we were able to do it the first time, we came back into the second session and we started working on it. He looked a lot better. I'm talking about a whole lot better, guys. And as a result, we were able to see his speed, even when he wasn't even trying. You know, he was able to get faster. And that's what I tell you guys all the time. Your kids don't necessarily, a lot of people think that when you try to get your kids faster, it's going to take months and months and months. And it actually doesn't. You can literally change speed in, or 2 sessions, first 5 days, 5 to 7 days, just by simply teaching them how to run properly. And once they learn how to run properly, they're going to stop the leakage of energy. Okay. Leaking energy. They're using up too much energy. And also they are covering the ground that they could be covering if they were running properly. So once they start running properly, they start covering more ground. They actually becomes easier to go faster. Here's the paradox. Most people think in order to run faster, you have to squeeze and go and try with all your might, right? But the beautiful thing about this and the way that God designed this is that, and it's a beautiful life lesson as well. Okay. I always tell my kids this, is that when you want to go faster, you actually have to relax. You actually have to try less, right? You can't try to dig in. All right. If you want to go faster, you actually have to relax. All right. That allows your muscles to elongate and contract. If we stay tight the whole time, we can't do this. All right. We stay tight. We do shorter steps, take us longer, take us more. It's more and more and more energy. All right. So we don't want to leak energy doing inefficient movements or like our body to death, right? To try to get this stuff done. Right. So we don't want to do that. So the paradox is you got to relax to go faster. And so in doing that, this kid that I'm working with, he actually used less effort and he was able to go faster with less effort. Right? Because we have the data, because I've been coaching for 16 years and I can see where your data leakage is without even using that. But having the data is a huge advantage. And in 5 days, guys, we was able to get them a step faster. All right. So the feedback from the feedback and that you guys get, the feedback that I get from the technology, the best in the pod is unmatched. Okay. It's unmatched. And it's something that you definitely want to take a look at. Now, listen, I actually do one-to-one virtual speed training. Okay. I'm telling you, I'm working with one kid right now who has it. I have another group of kids I'm working with, and they are not using the pod right now, but they're considering getting the pod because they've seen it worked for the first kid. And so I'd encourage you guys, if you're looking for that, I do have a one-to-one virtual speed training. I call it the one-to-one virtual speed lab. We use this technology in it. Okay. The best in the pod. I'm able to get their information right then and there. It's an amazing thing that you guys can use, that I can use to help you get them faster. Like literally in 5 days, we've gotten this kid a step faster, which is a huge win for him. He's a kid, who has been ridiculed about his speed. He was not as fast as his teammates. Now he's building confidence. His mom is saying like, hey, he's waking up and he's doing his stuff. He's asking me when can he go outside to do his stuff. He's really into it. He's changing his diet. He's building his confidence. He's out there and he's starting to really love like the practice and showing off what he can do now because he's starting. And we've only done 4 sessions. We've done 4 because the speed to do the speed test because we got the vest a little bit late. So we did the speed test. So that's cool. So if you guys are interested, you can send me a direct message on my Instagram at the Coach Harper. Direct message the word train, TRAIN. Direct message the word train to me in my direct messages on Instagram at the Coach Harper. There's a link down in the description for that too. You can just click on the link. It'll take you right to my page. Send me a direct message that said the word train. I'll send you over the application, the link for the application. You do the application. I don't work with every single person. So I have to qualify, but we only have 2 spots available right now. So if you're looking for that, I would advise you to go ahead and just tap that in there. Now, this is for the serious athlete, the athlete that knows that the thing that's keeping them from going from good to great is speed. That bridge from good to great is literally speed. So if your kid is like, they know that, hey, I'm going to play baseball and I'm going to be the best baseball player ever. I'm going to play football and I want to go pro and I want to be Division I college and I want to go pro in football. It's for that athlete. It's that athlete who is, on their own and they go outside on their own and they run their own drills, or they're asking you for training and you've already paid for them to go to some type of training. Like, it's for the serious athlete, okay? It's for the serious athlete who knows that they're going to play, who knows that they want to play in college, who knows that they probably want to play pro. The difference between them being good and great is going to be their speed, all right? And so that's why we want to treat this as our baby. And so that's why I do 1-to-1 virtual speed training. I call it the 1-to-1 virtual speed lab. You can go ahead and you can jump into that. You can send me a direct message with the word train to my Instagram at the Coach Harper, and I will definitely send you over the link for the application. Get them into this, guys. I'm telling you, this is great. All right. And then number 4, the 4th reason why virtual speed training is better than in-person is because parent empowerment. That's what I like to say. Number 4 is parent empowerment. Why does this matter? This matters because parents want to support, but they always don't know what's right. And I talk about this in my masterclass all the time, is that when you're a parent, you don't want to be the coach, okay? A lot of parents feel like, oh man, I want to do this, but I'm not a coach, okay? I don't know how to coach these kids. And even if you did give me a program, I would tell them, hey, go do it, but I still don't know what I'm doing. So I can't even tell if they're doing it right or wrong. So that's why you leave it into the hands of a professional, because 1, you can overtrain the kids if you don't know what you're doing. Number 2, you can get them injured, you don't know what you're doing, and you can burn them out. All right, you be doing stuff because there's a time to sprint, there's a time to relax, okay, time to rest, and we have to be strategic with that. And if we don't know when to rest and when to sprint, it will end up hurting your kid in the long run. So you don't want to be the coach if you don't know what you're doing. All right, okay. Again, overtraining, burnout, injuries, all those things. Okay, virtual training is a very widely overlooked tool, all right? Because a lot of parents, again, even coaches, okay? You're a coach and you're doing some type of training, I would advise you to start doing some 1-to-1 virtual training. Why? Because you have so much control. You're 1-to-1 with the kids. You're able to pinpoint their problems quicker so we can get them fixed quicker, so that we can actually get them out there and dominating quicker. Okay. Name of the game is speed. Speed as in physical speed, and speed to the market, meaning we've got to be able to get them faster sooner so they can get out there and dominate in game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instead of games 7, 8, or 9, or even the next year. Okay. Time is of the essence. If your kid is 13 years old, get ready to go into high school, Like they have been started training a year ago, right? They should have been started training at 11 and 12, or because by the time they're 11 and 12, we know, hey, this kid has a future. If they're good, if your kid is already good, you already know, hey, this kid has a future. I need to invest in this kid right now so his future or her future is even brighter. And they get to the place where they're trying to go. All right. So those are the 4 things. Those are the reasons why you guys virtual training is even more powerful than in-person training. Like, get out of your head. Like, I get it all the time. I think it would benefit more if there was somebody in person. Benefit more. Like, I had the parent that I'm working with now, that was one of the things that she said. I think he would just benefit more if he had a one-to-one person in training, person trainer. And she's singing a different song now because she's seen the results that her son is getting, and she's loving it, and he's loving it, and she's like, I think this is good. So I want to employ you. If you're thinking about training your kids, think heavily on a one-to-one virtual training program where you're going to get one-to-one training sessions, okay? Like I do this. If you're interested in that, you can go down to the description, click on that link to Instagram. That's going to my Instagram at @thecoachharper. DM me the word train, 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 and I will definitely get your the application to join that program. Now, if you don't want to do that, if you're just in the spot right now where you got a younger kid, or if you're a coach and you got younger kids and you're trying to figure out something that you can do with them, I have a program called Speed to Dominate. It's a 4-week youth speed program. In that program, you're going to get 21 speed drill videos, 4 weeks of speed workouts, a speed tracker, and a nutrition guide. You get that sent directly to your email. You can download it right away. It's only $10, so you can grab that down there, speedtodominate.com. And if you're a coach and your kids are always, let's say you're a track coach, your kids are always dying in that last 50 to 100 meters, I've got something for you as well. It's called the Sprinters Finishers Formula. You get it at champsprinter.com, or go down to the description and tap the link there at champsprinter.com. We all know those kids. They are dying out in the last 100 meters, down out in the last 50 meters or whatever. This is the thing that fixes that. Over 16 years of doing this, I found the secret formula to keep them from doing that and how you can do that very quickly. It doesn't take a long time, okay? All of the workouts are planned out for you. There is all the things in there, is all the goodies. So check that out at champsprinter.com. So a couple of ways to work with me, speedtodominate.com, $10. 4-week youth speed program, Champ Sprinter for those track coaches who got kids who are dying out in the last 50 to 100 meters. And if you're a parent and you're just saying, my kid is good, but they're not elite yet, and either their coach is telling me they need to get faster, or I see that, hey, if they were just a little bit faster, they would be even better, okay? They're playing baseball and they're like, hey, my kid was a little bit faster, they would get on bases more. If your kid is playing football, whatever sport that they're playing, if you can see, or someone has told you, hey, your kid just needs to be a little bit faster, or if you can see that they have great potential, hey, this kid is good, this kid is dominating the sport already, but if they were a little bit faster, if they were just faster, then they would be a total beast, and I know we've got a scholarship coming for them. I know they're going to go pro. Then that program is for you. This is for the serious athlete. This is not for the 6, 7, and 8-year-old kid who's just starting to they're just bigger than all the other kids and they're just dominating because they're bigger. This is for puberty has hit. Everybody's getting the same size. My kid is still dominating, right? This is for the serious athlete, for somebody and a parent who knows, I'm going to invest in this kid's future because I see that they have a future. And if I invest now, I know they're going to do amazing things, okay? Gap between being good and elite is speed. You guys need it, all right? So that's all for me today, guys. Check out all my links down in the description. Hit the like button, share, do all the things that you need to do on YouTube that everybody always says, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, do all of the things. And I will talk to you guys later. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys next week. All right.